NEC 110.26 states that electrical equipment shall not be installed in a location where it is exposed to physical damage by the operation of equipment or where its operation or maintenance will disturb the operation of the equipment. NEC 110.26 states that electrical equipment, such as transformers and capacitors, shall not be installed in a location where it is exposed to excessive heat from the operation of the equipment. The NEC prohibits the installation of electrical equipment in areas where it may be subject to damage or interference from the operation of other equipment. This includes situations where the equipment may be exposed to physical damage or excessive heat. A horizontal 2-inch line running through the working space below a flush mount panel associated with a condensate pump may be subject to vibration, heat, or other physical impacts during the operation of the pump. If the line is not properly secured, it could potentially damage or interfere with the operation of the electrical equipment in the panel. Based on NEC 110.26 and 110.263, it is reasonable to argue that the horizontal 2-inch line running through the working space below the panel is a code violation because the line may expose the electrical equipment to physical damage or excessive heat, which could compromise the safety and functionality of the electrical system. Whether the AHJ will catch this violation is difficult to predict. However, it is important to bring this issue to their attention to ensure compliance with electrical safety standards and to minimize potential hazards. Firstly, consider the potential for physical damage. The operation of a condensate pump, although seemingly innocuous, can produce vibrations. These vibrations, if transmitted to the 2-inch drain line, could cause it to shift or move over time. Should the drain line come into contact with the electrical panel, especially if it's not properly secured or grounded, it could create a pathway for electrical current, leading to a short circuit or even an arc flash. This is a serious hazard that could damage the electrical equipment and pose a significant risk to personnel working on or near the panel. Secondly, let's examine the possibility of excessive heat. Condensate pumps, particularly those that operate frequently or under heavy loads, can generate heat. While the water flowing through the drain line will help to dissipate some of this heat, the proximity of the drain line to the electrical panel could still raise the temperature within the panel enclosure. Electrical components are designed to operate within specific temperature ranges, and exceeding these limits can lead to premature failure, reduced performance, and increased risk of fire. Transformers and capacitors, in particular, are susceptible to heat damage. If the heat generated by the condensate pump and transferred through the drain line raises the temperature of these components beyond their rated limits, it could significantly shorten their lifespan and potentially cause them to fail catastrophically. Thirdly, the installation of the drain line could impede access to the electrical panel for maintenance and repairs. The NEC mandates clear working space around electrical equipment to allow qualified personnel to safely and effectively perform their duties. If the drain line is positioned in such a way that it obstructs access to the panel, it could create a hazardous situation for electricians or other technicians who need to work on the equipment. This could also delay repairs and increase the risk of accidents. Fourthly, consider the potential for moisture. Condensate drain lines are designed to carry water, and there's always a risk of leaks or spills, especially at joints and connections. If water were to leak from the drain line and come into contact with the electrical panel, it could create a serious electrical hazard. Water is an excellent conductor of electricity, and even a small amount of moisture can cause a short circuit, ground fault, or arc flash. This could damage the electrical equipment, injure personnel, and even start a fire. Fifthly, the presence of the drain line could create a potential for corrosion. The moisture and chemicals present in the condensate water could corrode the metal components of the electrical panel over time. This corrosion could weaken the panel enclosure, compromise the integrity of the electrical connections, and increase the risk of electrical failure. The corrosion products themselves could also be conductive, creating a pathway for electrical current and increasing the risk of short circuits and ground faults. Sixthly, it is important to consult with a qualified electrician and a plumbing professional to assess the specific situation and determine the best course of action. They can evaluate the location of the drain line, the type of electrical equipment in the panel, and the potential risks involved. They can also recommend solutions such as relocating the drain line, providing additional insulation or shielding for the electrical panel, or installing a drip pan to catch any leaks. Seventhly, if it is determined that the drain line does indeed violate the NEC, it is important to take steps to correct the violation. This may involve relocating the drain line, modifying the electrical panel, or implementing other measures to ensure compliance with the code. It is also important to document the correction and to notify the AHJ to ensure that the violation has been properly addressed. Eighthly, remember that the ultimate goal is to ensure the safety of personnel and to protect the electrical equipment from damage. By taking the necessary steps to comply with the NEC, you can minimize the risk of electrical hazards and create a safer working environment. Ninthly, consider regular inspections. Regularly inspect the area around the electrical panel and the condensate drain line to look for any signs of leaks, corrosion, or damage. Address any issues promptly to prevent them from escalating into more serious problems. Tenthly, maintenance is key. Ensure that the condensate pump and drain line are properly maintained to prevent leaks and other problems. Regularly clean the pump and drain line to remove any debris that could cause blockages or other malfunctions. By taking these precautions, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of your electrical system.